Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Let's fucking do this.
I already started it when you said that.
Sorry, my bad.
That's a great opener, though, okay? Hey, guys. What's up? Jin here with the Otakuology podcast, the podcast that you go home with, where we cover everything in nerd culture under one roof. I'm Jin, like I said before, and with me is my awesome co-host, Otaku Mike.
Hey, guys, I'm Otaku Mike.
Yeah, the fucker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, as Jen said, we talk about all types of nerd culture on this podcast. Right?
Right. Yeah. Everything.
So what are so I guess I should get into it. So I was listening to a podcast the other day called A Little Bit Weebish Podcast. And on that podcast, they talked about the top 10 common anime tropes everybody sees. And they had a specific article from CBR.com. And I just want to say a little shout out to A Little Bit Weebish Podcast. Is it a little Weebish podcast? Is that what it is? Little bit Weebish. A Little Bit Weebish Podcast. I am so sorry for butchering your name. I apologize. But I feel like we gotta start. Can we start this over? This sucks.
Definitely not.
Man. Oh, I feel bad for butchering their name. But I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I'd love this idea for this podcast, this topic that they decided to talk about." And I was like, "Well, let's talk about this." And I reached out to him and was like, "Hey, is it okay if we borrow your topic?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So we are going to talk about this and give our input. I definitely recommend go checking out their podcast. I will leave a link down below in the description for our podcast so you can hear all their thoughts on the different types of tropes in anime. So yeah, let's get into this, buddy. You want to start us off?
Yeah, so the other thing that I pulled up is some other trope thingies as well.
Are these like a list for them?
Yeah.
All right.
So, keep talking. Tell me about your weekend or whatever.
I mean, the weekend has just started because it's Friday right now. As we were recording, it's Friday. So I don't really have much of a weekend to speak of at the moment. I'm recording with you at, just whatnot. But
yeah,
I mean, I've been watching a lot of older anime.
Yeah,
I've been fine. I've made it my New Year's resolution to go through my back catalog of anime that I own and actually sit down and watch that anime.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty lazy when it comes to anime watching nowadays. And at one point I bought way too much anime and I just would put it on a shelf and not watch it. I guess that makes me a bad anime fan. I mean, I've seen a lot of anime. It just over the last year, I haven't really watched anime. So,
which I mean makes some sense to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of these I couldn't go into. So it says there's 9, but we're only getting 8 because it's denying me access into it. But this should be good enough.
Are we gonna talk about the list that I have in front of me, right? And then we're gonna talk about those.
Yeah, because this one is it says the 9 most annoying anime tropes and clicks that you can't stand. Now
Oh
we only
man.
have 8, so ours is just going to be 8 because I can't get into it to look at the 9th one. But this one looks really, really good, and there are a couple of them that are actually on our other list too. So
Okay. So we can talk about all of them.
right,
Then I guess. So do you want to start us out with whatever one, or do you want me to go?
yeah, you go, and then I'll pick what the one is on here when we get to it on that one.
So on the list that I have, it's number 10 is tsundere. Do you know what a tsundere is, Jin?
Uh, no, I don't.
So a tsundere is usually a character, um, and the characteristic usually is they're very bitter or aloof towards said love interest. Um, they're usually very mean as well,
Yeah,
and the best description I can give you is Asuna from Evangelion. If you ever seen Evangelion,
a little bit.
she's like one of the big tsunderes, and over time they usually change and start to loosen up over time when it comes to their attitude towards the main character. Usually,
So they start out and then they have like a love hate relationship until it fully
very
turns
much
into
so,
love.
very much so. Yes, they're very hostile usually towards the main character. Usually like and very combative usually
Yeah,
when it comes to the main character. The only one I could think of is Asuna off the top of my head.
yeah. Well, for me, I would say like Sakura
Oh, you think?
from
Oh yeah,
Naruto.
Sakura, yeah. But do you what exactly do you think of this trope?
Um, I really don't feel like it's a big common one because
I mean, honestly, I always get confused with all the other dares that they have, like on dare and
right,
oh, I forget what other fucking ones. There are so many fucking ones that they have. I just get so confused when it comes to that
yeah.
aspect.
Well,
Honestly,
before we got into it, and you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna read off these 10 for you" or whatever. I was sitting there thinking like, should I know this? Would this be one of the things on like a Faku manga that would be
well, I
like,
mean, like
what is this?
it's like tsundere, andere, dondere, and I don't know what the other ones are. There's like 6 or 7 of them,
Yeah,
and they all go towards a specific like uh what's the word I'm looking for? Like oh god, it's
a specific trope.
specific trait,
Yeah,
like a trait that like a character has.
yeah,
It's they're all weird. Like one's cold, one's like uh bonkers or
yeah,
whatever, and like I don't remember what's one. What I don't remember what the one is. Is it? I don't know if it's. I can't remember what it is, but there's one that like wants to like if nobody can have you, uh, like they automatically want to kill you type of love or whatever.
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember what it is. Honestly, I don't really keep up with all that shit. I don't really care about
Me
tsunderes.
either. I mean, the thing about this one though is when you first said it, I was sitting there thinking like, does this fit with like Ahagao or
No,
or
no,
other stuff like that?
no. It's
You
not
know, like
Ahagao.
because they do have like a bunch of stuff like for Faku manga that are like, hey, this is the tropes that we have or what you'll experience while reading this book, and it's kind of like doing a hashtag on something, and most of the time like I'll just lose all like, what does that word mean, and I'll have to go back and figure it out. So that's what Sundere kind of sounds like
Oh,
or
you mean
seems
like
like.
my favorite trope, reverse nipples?
No, that says it all.
I just remember seeing that hashtag when I was on Faku one time, and I was like, "What the fuck is a reverse nipple?"
Yeah, happens to the best of us.
I know, I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have nothing really to say about tsunderes. They're a thing. They're honestly a thing. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I feel like that one is kind of debunked though, because I mean, like you said,
there's always one in one anime,
we could only come up
regardless.
with like 3 of them. So
Yeah, there's always a tsundere in an anime, usually. So
I'm
yeah,
sure there's an array in every anime.
yeah, true.
So
They're like a big trope. I guess they're a trope. I don't know.
yeah,
I,
which
I
the
don't know
other
if I would.
thing
I don't know if
is,
I would put that one on the list.
no, I probably wouldn't either. I mean, I get what they're saying because like you could probably also take like Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender and fit him into a tsundere,
Oh yeah, you probably yeah. I could see that. Yeah,
but
he totally has a
I don't
heart. He
know.
he totally has a heart on Aang.
Yeah, definitely. I love you. I'll be your master. Goodness.
But yeah, there's that.
Number 9.
Yeah. So number 9 is ridiculous power scaling. What are your thoughts on this?
This is true. I would definitely agree with that one because there are plenty of things where we do have ridiculous sets of power scaling and
Hmm.
how it's used.
Do you feel like there's ever a successful ridiculous power scaling?
No.
Because I always feel like it never works for me, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
No, because I always think of I mean, I say Dragon Ball, but like, there's a picture of Goku on here
Yeah.
with I don't with silver hair. I've never seen Goku with silver hair.
No, I hate where you know Dragon Ball Z's one is as well.
Oh yeah, no, most
I mean,
definitely.
the only good thing we got out of those, oh my god, his power level's over 9,000.
I think what I hate about that is it goes along with ridiculous power scaling. Maybe is when you talk to somebody and they start talking about so and so's character power levels,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, and I think the easiest one that I actually like, but then they have to have like another one in and of itself, is like the Naruto one because that's
Are
how
you gonna say Rock Lee?
no.
Oh,
No, because that's how all of the things like video games and everything else, a lot of them use that. Like
uh huh.
is your character rank S or are they A, B, C? You know,
Yeah,
I think it goes down to D. And it's like, where on this list are they? Are they a strong character? Are they not? Where is it? So I think that's probably the easiest one. But I
I,
mean, honestly, I really just enjoy like 100 scale. I mean, that's
mm-hmm.
fine.
I mean, I honestly, if we got rid of the power scaling, honestly, I would be okay with that. I don't care. I
Right.
don't. I don't really need to know what the power is or how the power jumps up to ridiculous standards.
Right.
I just don't. I just don't care. I mean, I feel like a lot of that has to do with like shonen manga,
That's true.
especially battle shonen. Like in that aspect. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yu Yu Hakusho never really did ridiculous power scaling with their characters, did they?
No.
Okay.
No, the only thing even close to that you had um was Younger Taguru, which is the muscle guy.
Yeah.
And he would say how much of his power he had to put out before he knew that Yusuke was starting to become a badass, and he had to put himself at 100% to use his powers.
Yeah. Like I don't really. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a trope that we honestly could just live without, or I could just live without.
Yeah,
Like I don't need to. I don't need them to have a boost of power. Honestly, one thing I think it would be cool is if you maybe outsmart the character or the bad guy instead.
yeah.
over just sheer raw power of I'm fucking angry and I'm unlocking this new Super Saiyan technique or whatever, you know?
Right.
Like I don't know. It
Yeah.
just
I
I don't know.
think the only one, and I would say that it was kind of funny,
Uh-huh.
but they do it off of trading cards. So as you get stronger, your trading card comes out and your level goes up. And
What's that?
it's this show called OK Go.
Is that an old show or a new show?
It's fairly newer, but my kid likes watching it. And
Uh-huh.
so while they're sitting there, like the big guy is level 100 and can, like, in the first episode they're looking up at the clouds and like, how did he get up there? And they go, it doesn't matter, he's level 100, he's able to do. And everybody else is like, I think the highest next person that you see is like level 7.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're just kind of sitting there like, okay. But there's not really a rank system to it. It's like most of the people that you see are 1s and 2s and 3s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and
Yeah. Oh.
it's just kind of oblivious and I think that the show actually plays on the fact that power leveling is a joke, because you
Okay.
never know.
Yeah. Like
I
I
mean,
don't
they even have one episode where he's fighting this robot that they're like, it's level 50. You're not going to be able to win, and the kid's level, uh, it was like level 1. He goes, hold on, let me think. And he starts looking around and adding up everybody's level that's around him. And he goes, oh my gosh, if y'all like join together into a giant fist, we'll be level 50 together.
the best way, or I feel like a way you could possibly just I mean, I don't know. To me, like the ridiculous power scaling seems like it should be like um almost like an adrenaline boost.
Yeah,
Like if you get like a shot of adrenaline or a boost of adrenaline in your system.
right.
But like I just don't feel like a lot of animes do the power scaling well enough. Like
No.
they always
And
just come out of nowhere, and I feel like they just pull it out of their fucking asses.
that's true. I
Like
mean,
I'm reading,
and like,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now,
yeah,
and I'm getting into part 3 where like they're getting like really big into the powers and stuff, and I'm just like, how I don't give a fuck
yeah,
about why these people are boosting their powers. Just show me cool fights.
right.
I don't need a reason why their powers are boosted up or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think in that aspect, like, even though we get it with the video games, I think Pokemon does it really well, because you never have anything that focuses on power leveling.
Well, don't they have levels?
Uh, not in the animes.
Oh, that's right. They don't in the anime.
Yeah. I mean, because at that point, like, Pikachu should have been defeated multiple times, yo.
No, that's true.
But
But
I mean, especially some of the
Pikachu got
fights that
that
he's
plot
in.
armor.
That's true. He does have the plot armor.
He got the plot armor of being the face of the Pokemans.
Everybody's like, he's level 100. Yeah, but he's got plot armor, so it's like he's level 200.
All right, so
You're right.
let's move on to number 8. And what we have here is expedited training. The good old training sequence, or the let's explain what you're going to do and why you can't do it, but then you end up doing it because you're the main character. And you seem to surpass everybody when it comes to this training sequences or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, I fucking hate training sequences.
this is true.
I fucking hate them. Give me a good 80s quick montage of training sequences like Karate Kid or Rocky, you know.
So this is the fun. I was going to bring this up to you because I actually watched this one the other day. Um, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport,
Oh yeah, Bloodsport, yeah.
and the opening sequence in that one.
Yeah.
where everybody's training and practicing, and then you never see it again.
Yeah, you never see it again. Yeah, like I don't need an anime character to be like, okay, let's go get in the hyperbolic time chamber and have a whole little story arc where we have to train in the time chamber to get powerful, you know.
Yeah,
I hate the training. The training sucks. I don't care. I don't need to know how a character really gets those powers. I don't need the ins and outs of it. I don't need you to explain it to me. Just show me a quick montage of what they do for like 30 seconds and I'm fucking good,
right.
to be honest.
Is he good with his hands? What's he good? What's he good?
Oh man, oh yeah. But no, I feel like this is a trope that honestly, let's just get rid of. Let's just get rid of
Yeah.
it. I don't like it. I don't want it.
So get rid of 9 and number 8.
Yeah, unless you make number 9 logical,
Yeah.
you can keep it, okay?
Yeah.
But that's an iffy. You have to be a good writer and make sure to write it properly.
Right.
Now, I feel like number 7 can be a topic into itself
Yeah.
about what it is. And what it is weak female characters. I mean, what more do I have to say? More to
So
say?
that was the one I was waiting for you to get to.
All
on
right.
this
Oh,
list.
yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about it.
Annoying anime tropes and clicks.
Uh-huh.
Weak female characters.
Oh, that's one of them?
Yeah, that's one of them.
All right. Let's talk about this one. Come on.
I mean, there's not much to talk about. Like, I agree with it. Like, there's always, like, you know, in those aspects, like, most anime is kind of sexist in the scope of there are weak female characters
Yeah.
for them.
But to have them to be always weak, like, I'm not okay with. Like, I would love to see character growth. Now,
Yeah.
I know when they say weak female characters, they're probably talking a lot about the shonen or seinen manga or animes.
I wouldn't even say seinen.
Or
I really think that they're probably just talking about shonen.
probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the shonen manga you've read, can you name one female character that isn't somewhat like strong or is somewhat strong?
Yeah.
Who?
Tsunade from Naruto.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So when the one that I think of is Maka from Soul Eater, and
That's
she's like
true.
she's the main character.
That's true.
Would you count Claire from Claymore?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the other thing we have to look at really is what do they depict as weakness?
True. What do they pick as weakness?
Because, like, physically weak, like, sure, there's going to be a lot of them, you know.
Yeah.
But then we also have characters that are, you know, side girls or whatever, and they might not be handy capable with a weapon or anything, but maybe most of them are quick on their feet and actually pretty smart, you know.
That is true.
So it's kind of I mean, I feel like this would be like a good arguing point, like overall, that you could cover.
Yeah, I mean, what I think they mean is when I think they mean like weak female characters, I think they do mean in the aspect of fighting. I would say,
Yeah,
but like even like, excuse me, sorry, my allergies are messing up. Like, I don't really see a lot of female characters that are strong. I mean, people can gladly tell me I'm wrong, but I mean, the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head, are like fucking like strong and badass, are
yeah,
like all the women in Black Lagoon.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Bella Lyka, she's fucking badass.
Yeah. Well, and I mean that's the other thing. Like even most of the characters that appear to be weak are actually strong. I mean,
Yeah.
think about Tales of Wedding Rings. They're all put into a position where they're supposed to appear to be weaker,
Hmm.
but you
But
know, all of
that's
them are very strong.
that's one aspect that I do like, which we don't see a lot, are the weak characters who start off as weak and then they gradually grow and become powerful.
Right.
And it just happens that they happen to be female. I mean, that's one thing I would love to see more. Honestly, is
Which
stronger female characters.
which now since we've already covered it, would you also say that maybe this weak female character thing also goes into the power leveling part?
Possibly.
Because if we didn't have that, then would there really be any character that's female that would be considered weak?
True, but I mean, when you think about it, a lot of the female characters do get put on the back burner when it comes to like anime that have like fighting in it.
That is true.
You know, they always get put on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like uh little bit Weebish podcast said their one that they went to was do you remember when Sakura they were doing the tuning exam
Yeah.
and she was like caught and she had like the option to like apparently if I remember correctly like stab the guy or whatever with the kunai or and she ends up like just cutting her hair off.
Yeah.
I mean she could have probably taken him down but she chose to cut her hair.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. To me, that shows signs that Sakura might be a little weak. Um, in that, I mean, they do show Sakura in this picture.
Yeah.
For the weak female character, so maybe they're going with that. I don't know, but I do feel like for representation purposes,
Yeah.
and for women who and girls who read manga, and you know, like we've said before, like demographics don't really matter when it comes to reading manga. I would love to see more badass, strong female characters.
You want more of them like the queen from Idol Sponger?
No, she's a different kind of strong. She actually doesn't really like. I mean, she's a queen, but
I mean,
like
she's physically, magically, and politically strong. So I mean,
true,
I would almost put her at like the pinnacle on like
true,
all
but
of that.
that manga honestly is very much wish fulfillment when it comes to men.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would say that. I would say when I say strong, I mean like strong, able to take care of themselves and be like a good role model for women or young
Yeah.
girls, you know. Not just a strong, independent sex object like she is.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that's one honestly that I have a problem with when I'm reading manga is the fact that, you know, I would love to see more stronger female characters in manga.
You want more Sailor Moon.
I mean, no, I want more like I want like give me more like Revi or Bella Lyka from Black Lagoon. I mean, Bella Lyka
Yeah.
can step on me anytime. Just saying.
Oh my god. All right, what's the next one? This is getting weird.
All right. We're getting weird again. So number 6 is Opie. Jen, what's Opie?
Is Opie like boobs?
It's big boobs.
Okay.
You can never have enough big boobs, but they can only be so big. I mean, we're not going backbreaking here, okay? If we're
We're
going
not going
backbreak,
we're not going Ekin.
we're not going Ekin size. We are not. Oh my god, those things are monstrosities. If
Right.
we go Ekin size, but I say yeah. I mean, you can go with all shapes and sizes with Opie boobies. You know,
Right.
That's a trope that I think we need. We need more boobies in anime. That also leads. That also goes with
just in general.
just in general more boobies in anime. That
Yeah.
also goes with stronger female characters. They have boobs, so I mean they go hand in hand together, in my opinion.
That's true.
You know,
So I would say I feel like we do need this more in things too. Maybe not like the oversized ones or whatever, but I really like when I'm reading a manga or something and there's like sisters or something else or whatever,
uh huh.
and when you know that anything's supposed to happen, like it didn't feel like you're ever going to go into lolly territory, I guess.
Oh yeah, let's not go into lolly
So,
territory.
I always like even like my petite characters to have some kind of form of boob.
There was one show I was watching. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. It was like Gal something. I can't remember. It was a weird show about this guy who ends up dating this gal. And there was one character in it, and she was an elementary school student, and she had like the biggest set of opie. It was fucking crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so weird watching this. Even the characters in the show were like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. But then the show got really fucking creepy. And I was like, I can't watch this shit anymore.
Oh my god.
Because one of the characters was like, the younger the better. And I was like, oh my God, what am I watching? I was like, turn it off, turn it off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can never go wrong with opie or boobies. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So second is, or not second. Number 5 is non-existent slash absent slash dead parents.
I'm just gonna say because you kind of joked about this one earlier, where you said about the parents being dead and everything,
Yeah.
and the joke was is that it was just kind of in manga, and I didn't get a chance to say it before we went on air, but I was like, man, that's like in almost every Disney movie too.
Well, I was gonna say it's always in every Disney movie because Walt Disney's mother died of carbon monoxide poisoning,
Yeah,
and that's why like all the moms are dead in Disney, or most of them are. I should say,
you mean early on?
yeah, early on, like most of them are dead. I think some live occasionally, but that's why either one or none of them are alive. When it comes to that,
Right.
the one thing I don't like when it comes to like absentee parents in anime is the fact that I find it unrealistic that a high schooler or teenager can take care of themselves alone in the city, and like it just it to me that's not
Right.
um it's just not realistic to me in that aspect.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, that does happen. Like that's kind of a thing, I think, or it's sometimes it is a thing in Japan.
Yeah.
Like they'll have their own apartments and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's maybe just like a cultural thing in
Yeah.
that aspect because like I'm not able to grasp around my thoughts on that. But I mean, I'm okay with parents being in animes. Like I don't I would rather have the parents there than not, you know.
Right.
They could always have like a maybe they're not always there, but they could be around, you know, or whatever. You know,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
the biggest.
Ash's mom is always around, even though she's not.
I mean, she's not around. I mean, what about his dad, Mr. Mime? You know,
No.
Oh, we're not going with that theory?
No, that can't be his daddy.
Why not? He's always been around, just saying.
No, he hasn't.
Maybe Miss Ketchum didn't know that Mr. Mime was Ash's daddy because he was so silent all the time.
Nope.
He just came in there, planted his Mr. Mime seed, and left.
No, Mr. Mime has his own episode where he actually.
I know. Okay, I was making a joke.
What pervert.
I was making a joke.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Professor Oak definitely could be Ash Daddy.
You think? Then that would make Ash Gary's uncle.
Exactly.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
So number 4, we're getting down to the couple last ones. So number 4 is emotional flashbacks before the big moment. What do you think about this one?
I don't know. I mean, I find all the emotional flashbacks to be the ones before the big fight to be
Yeah.
stupid.
Uh-huh.
Because there's more flashbacks than that,
Yeah. But this is the big emotional flashback, apparently.
Right. It doesn't matter.
I don't need to be reminded of what came before. I don't need to be reminded of the character's fucking motivations. I've watched it up till now. I don't really need to be reminded. I think the character should know what their emotional flashback is already.
Right.
Because they already lived
it. It's like watching Harry Potter all over again.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Next one.
So number 3 is monologues for exposition. Yeah. I hate monologues.
I have to agree. I think I've only ever liked one character that did it, and I can't remember who it was, but that was their character basis. So all they did was talk in monologue.
Yeah.
And I like that character, but I can't remember what they're in.
Yeah, like I don't feel like you need monologues. You can honestly let the anime breathe. Yeah. Excuse me, in that aspect, like I don't need to know every ins and outs of what's happening at that moment to for that monologue. I think it
Definitely
really
do.
I think it drags it down, especially when I'm reading manga and I get a big monologue about something.
Yeah.
In the world, and I'm just like I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You're slowing down my story. I want to move forward. I don't.
This is why characters have catchphrases. Okay.
Believe it.
Sweet Christmas.
Did you just reference Luke Cage on the podcast?
I did.
Are you watching Luke Cage at the moment? Is that why you decide to bring him onto our podcast?
No, that's just the big one that I know that I know, because a bunch of the other superheroes, I don't really feel like they have like catchphrases that we know about, but Sweet Christmas is the first one that pops in my head.
Yeah, I don't like monologues.
Yeah.
I could care less about them, especially if a villain's monologuing. I don't care.
Right.
I think that moves into our next one, which is villains don't capitalize. Why don't villains capitalize on anything?
I don't know. That was another one reading. I was like, this is true. This is very true. And it makes me upset.
Like when you think about it, when a villain is monologuing, let's say, is it Itachi like Pain from Naruto or something, you know, or who's the one from Bleach? I can't
Ichigo?
remember. Ichigo's a bad guy in that?
Oh, I thought you meant the good guys.
No,
Or just
villains.
anybody.
Villains.
Aizen?
Aizen, yeah, you know. Um like seeing a villain not capitalize, it just a villain doesn't care about what you're doing or how you feel. Like if you're a bad guy, just kill the main character and you're over with, you know?
Right.
It's just over with, you know?
It's kind of like this thing I saw on TikTok the other day about Batman. They're like Batman as Bruce Wayne could end almost every villain's tyranny.
One of
And
my I have to say though is one of my favorite monologues
yeah,
not monologues or it's not really the villain does the villain doesn't capitalize in it, but it was this big old Russian guy, and he's like a Nazi, I believe. It was a big old Nazi guy. He's like, like we're superior, the superior race and stuff like that. And he's like, look at these guns that I have. They're gold and they're given from passed down, I think, from like Adolf Hitler or whatever, you know, and
yeah.
they're so superior. And he's just sitting there and he gets shot in the kneecaps.
Oh my god.
He's like, and that's the only thing I can think of with like not capitalizing for villains.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
Happens to the
like
best
that.
of us.
But that was a fun. I think that's probably one of the funniest ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because his pride got in the way of his superior race in that aspect.
Right.
But yeah, even in a lot of other media, villains don't always capitalize on things. I guess it's just a character flaw that they have that like they're not allowed to.
I have
Maybe
no idea.
it's one that like we've like it's just been written into every a
Yeah.
medium, you know. Like I don't know, they're not allowed to win. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's weird. That's I
Who
don't know.
knows?
So number one, we have character unlocks secret / forgotten power just before defeat. What do you think about this one?
I don't know if I care about this one because I do kind of like the last minute, hey, we're gonna do XYZ and move on from there for your power level to go up.
Uh
But
huh.
I don't know if I care really past that at all.
Yeah. Do you think
Um,
this goes hand in hand with the power scaling,
no,
or it's like kind of like a last ditch effort?
no. I mean, I feel like people should be more like Goblin Slayer and be prepared.
That's true.
You know,
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean, if they're like, oh well, I was thinking about this really cool move, but I didn't want to use it or try it or whatever till this battle.
But that's the thing is though, why would you hold on to your secret move?
Exactly.
Like even the bad guys do that.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, I countered your move with my move that you didn't know about.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of stupid. Well, now that I think about this, a lot of this list is stupid. Like
Right.
when you start to think about it and like apply logic to it,
Yeah.
I think these are the way they are because we don't apply logic to it when we're watching it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
All right. Are you ready for this one?
Like, is there more than one?
Yeah, there's 8, but we covered the weak female character one already. So
All
there's
right,
only 7.
let me hear it.
All right. Oblivious main male characters.
Fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. Are we talking like oblivious like the females?
I think it's just oblivious all around. So like the person that popped into my head was Goku.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, and if you're in a world and you're in like the main character uh role, I think you should be observant and not be oblivious to certain things.
Right.
Yeah, that's
All right. You want the next one?
now if we're talking about women being oblivious to women, I totally get that because I'm always oblivious
Yeah.
in that aspect.
So this next one, I feel like it's funny because these are usually the episodes that you and I pick out and talk about the most when we watch them.
What?
Beach episodes.
I mean, you gotta have a beach episode.
No, you don't.
Beach episodes are like must haves.
No.
I mean, they're not always great, but you gotta have them. It breaks up the filler to have
Okay.
titty filler.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Over explain fight sequences.
like the fight sequence is being explained to me as I'm watching the fight sequence.
Yeah, over explained.
So it's being
Probably
explained.
like a character's vendetta.
Are we talking about like the Dragon Ball explaining where you have characters off to the side talking about the fight that I'm watching? Is that
Um
what you mean?
I think it means
Or
that, or like when you have two different fighters that have different fighting styles.
and they're explaining their fighting style?
Yeah, and the person's explaining their fighting style to somebody else, and then starts giving you a list of reasons of why they're going to be the one that wins when they end up losing. You know?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like
Uh,
that.
then we got to weak female characters. So the
Uh-huh.
next one is mysterious characters with dark pasts.
You gotta have the dark brooding character, right? The mysterious. You gotta have. You gotta have
They
them.
don't have to be dark brooding and have a mysterious past.
I mean, they have to. How are you gonna get the girls to love like Sasuke or I don't know who else has dark brooding past? Bakugo. I don't know. Does he have dark brooding pasts?
I don't know.
Because the dark brooding character is always like the bad boy. He's mysterious.
Yeah.
You gotta have him. I mean, they're not always the best, but I mean, they're around. I don't know. That's what I always equate it to. Like,
Yeah.
is like the bad tough boy who
Yeah.
might be like the enemy, and then you find out he's like sensitive and
Well,
he just has a
it's
dark
funny that
past.
you say that though, because the next one is female characters beating up male characters.
I'm okay with that. That can lead to some comedic aspects.
Yeah,
I'm okay
I
with that,
agree on
honestly.
that.
Depending
Okay.
on how it's done.
This one I like it just because I like seeing what the rest of the world is depicted as.
Uh-huh.
But sitting near a window in a classroom.
Oh, that's fucking. And they're in the back. They're in the back. They're in
the back corner, always by the window.
They're in the back corner, either last desk or like second to last desk, and your childhood friend is always sitting next to you, usually in some
Or in front of
capacity,
you.
or in front of you, or beside you, and all you do is look out the window. Yeah, that's stupid. That's so. Why do people? I think that's a culture. That's a Japan thing. I think.
Right. The main character always has to be in the back like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. That's yeah.
And then the last one is never-ending fights.
Oh God.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
The never-ending story. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I think of Dressrosa from One Piece when I think of that, because that technically went on for like over a year, I think,
I have no
maybe,
idea.
and that was like one whole long fight.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have a fight that lasts like half a season, yeah, I'll probably get tired of it. You
Yeah.
know, Bleach did that to me with their long ass fights.
Yeah.
Like, if you fight for longer than like an episode, like I start to lose interest, honestly.
Yeah.
Depending on it, you know.
All right. You ready for this last one that I found?
All right.
5 overused anime character tropes and 5 that we can't get enough of.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it'll be 5 and 5. So 10 overused are class representatives.
But don't they always have that's part of the culture. They always have
They
class
do. Yeah.
representatives.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have those here in the US.
The one that beats it out is
Uh-huh.
delinquents.
Oh, I love delinquent. You gotta have a delinquent. I mean, you put a delinquent as your main character. Well, you got me. You got me. I'm hooked. I love a good underdog story.
Yeah.
If it's a delinquent, like
Um
Yu Yu Hakusho. You get 2 delinquents in that one. 2
like again.
delinquents. Just saying. And one has a
Right?
pompadour.
Goodness. All right. So
Is
number 8,
one of the tropes pompadours?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Over number 8 is aloof and passive characters.
I don't get it.
Let's see. It says
I mean, I can
it's
understand like the passive characters.
yeah, it says they go with the flow and are not privy to their surroundings to know how to read a room. Another attribute is their limited dialogue that they have.
Well,
So
wouldn't
it
that be considered oblivious?
it seems like they're just kind of like meek.
Okay. Uh,
It
depending on the
says
situation, I don't care.
they have an inability to voice their thoughts and feelings.
Okay. No, I get your talk. Okay, so yeah, they can't. They're
Yeah.
very like mousy type of characters.
Yeah.
I don't really see a lot of those. And I mean, you could say a lot of characters are like that in anime,
Yeah.
depending on how their character is. I mean,
And the one that we love to replace that is airheads.
oh, airheads are funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Who was the one in? Who was the one in? The was it the teacher who was the airhead in High School of the Dead? Was it
It was the nurse.
the nurse? That's what it was. The nurse. Yeah, yeah. I mean, airheads can be funny too. I mean, is that like the a good trope for them, or is that a bad trope?
I mean, I like that one.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
I always think of airheads like a Wayne's World type of character, or like a Bill or Ted. You know,
yeah. Let's see.
like if they're done right, they can be good. You know,
Yeah. Let's see. Ginky girls.
Genki.
Ginky. Genki.
Oh, you can just throw them in a fucking dumpster and light them on fire.
They're energetic, optimistic, and loud in tone.
Yeah, those are the ones who are like really loud and like bouncing off the walls and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't see a lot of those, but whenever I do see them, I don't really care for them. And yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. This one is another one that we love. It's called Yamato Nadeshiko,
What the fuck is that?
which is a woman that is portrayed as being in her womanhood, um, in
What?
a Japanese trope style.
Like like
It would
like
be like
a geisha?
or like a swordsman.
Okay.
So it would be any girl that is dressed up in kind of like an old robe or something like that,
Like Sakura from Sakura Wars?
probably.
Oh. I mean, if she's good with a sword, I'll watch her. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you get those in a lot of animes too. Whenever they do the festival episodes,
that's
you
true.
have them up like dressed up in like a kimono.
Right?
I mean, a lot of these tropes I don't really care about. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and this is one that I like. This next one that it says is overused, which is hikikomoris.
oh, I mean, I don't see a lot of hikikomoris in anime.
Yeah.
I
Well, and
kind of want.
the one that they have to replace it is Shonen Heroes, and I'm like, I think I would rather have the hikikomori over a Shonen Hero
I
any
would
day.
rather have the hikikomori because hikikomori technically is an underdog.
Right.
I mean, one of the best underdog stories around is Welcome to the NHK. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess is that a trope, hikikomoris? Because I don't.
I don't know
I,
because I just know a handful of those.
yeah, I remember that was. I remember there was one in. Do you remember Eden of the East?
Yeah.
Do you remember the one who like he like never left his room and he ended up leaving his room, but he only had like clothes from when he was like skinny because he got gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And I think he ends up getting like hit by a car or something. And he becomes like he's like agoraphobic as well, I believe. In that.
I am not sure.
That's one that I would like to cover for an anime. That was a good anime. That's the anime that nobody talks about anymore is Eden of the East.
I mean, you and I talk about it.
I mean, yeah, you and I talk about it, but like the world doesn't really
Yeah.
talk about it. In my, I feel see that I don't know. Like Hikikomori is like, I don't know. I don't see that as being overplayed. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've only
So
seen.
these last two are ones that we covered already.
Oh, okay,
So one that's overused is a character that is too overpowered,
okay.
and I agree. I mean, we see a lot of those,
Yeah, is that like the power scaling?
kind of.
All right.
And then the number one that we love is the Deres,
Oh
which
fuck.
is Tsunadere, Yanadere, Dandere, and Deredere.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like. I don't know if I care about that.
yeah. I mean,
Which
tropes are. I
it
feel
does
like
it does give us Sonadere, which it just means in this it says acting rough.
and we can start to wrap this up. 'Cause it's almost been an hour.
Yeah,
But I feel like, I mean, tropes are tropes, regardless if we like them or hate them. I think it's if how we put the spin on that trope. And if we can take it and spin it and make something new out of it, is when the trope becomes not a trope. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, it's almost like a fresh idea or a fresh take on an old idea for a trope.
right,
It all depends on the author or the creator in that aspect. I
right. And
mean,
I agree with that one. I feel
yeah,
like whenever somebody's really writing good characters and everything else, then the work kind of speaks for itself,
yeah, true.
and it doesn't have to rely on part of this other stuff.
Yeah, you don't need all the weird power leveling or whatever, or the. I mean, you can always rely on Opie. Opie can be relied on all the time. Just saying. You can never have too much Opie.
Right?
That should be the name of this. That should be the name of this podcast. Too much Opie.
Opie or die.
Opis or die.
Yeah.
Opis or die.
But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Let us know your anime
So
tropes.
wait, what did you think? What do you think about the tropes?
I was getting there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I mean, I agreed with part of them, but some of them to me, I just feel like are stupid and over the top.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, I feel
I
like
feel like some of them are misplaced.
I gotta say, I feel like a little bit Weebish was a little bit more prepared than we were, and they had a better podcast than we did. To be honest.
Yeah.
Just saying. Go check out a little bit Weebish podcast. They're awesome. They're awesome and fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, stay tuned for more great content from your neighborhood Otakuology podcast.
I have to say, I feel like I wasn't prepared for this podcast.
Even though you read that
Even
stuff.
though I read it and I suggested it. God, I feel like shit right
Goodness.
now.
I mean, I just like to say that it's pretty funny that we went through 3 different lists, and what was brought over or crossed over into all of them, I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So,
Do we really need the list of
probably
tropes? You know?
Probably not. I mean, because I was thinking of it more as genes when we first talked about it, or genres,
Yeah, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, guys, as always, thanks for listening.
Okay.
You had something else to say?
Yeah, I had something else to say.
Okay.
You want to cut me off? I was going to say, if you want to reach out to us and contact us, you can do so at our Instagram at Otakuology Podcast, or our Twitter, which is Otakuology Podcast, or Pod, I believe. You can do so at otakuologypodcast@gmail.com. Rate and review the podcast on all of the podcast platforms that we're on, or the one you listen to us on. It helps. It helps us get out there in the algorithm. Share the podcast. Talk about the podcast. That helps. If you enjoy the podcast, help us out a little bit by listening and sharing our podcast. It does help. And then, if you like, you can leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/Otakuology. Leave us a message on a podcast. A message. We'll answer it, and we even play it on the podcast. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening.
Stay tuned. Help us get some more listeners or whatever. And then maybe on our OnlyFans, Mike will sit on a cake.
I think I might have deleted the OnlyFans.
You did to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was waiting for you to sit on a cake.
My bad.
So, but as always, guys, we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.